You are watching a Famicast video review of Immortal Redneck on the Nintendo Switch. I'm Danny Bivens, the reviewer of this game. As any lovable redneck would do with extra time and money, a vacation to Egypt seems like a great idea. Unfortunately for our hillbilly pal, this dream vacation quickly turns into a nightmare after wrecking his dune buggy. Upon waking up mummified and curious who did this to him, the redneck goes on a quest through the pyramids where he's put up against labyrinths full of ancient monsters in this roguelike arcadey first-person shooter. The controls in Immortal Redneck are extremely smooth, making the game a joy to play. Even after going in without looking at the control scheme, I felt right at home shooting, reloading, and changing weapons. The default movement is fast, and when you factor in the dash button, you'll be blazing through levels with ease. Aiming can be handled with the right analog stick, motion aiming, or a combination of both. The freedom with the aiming is excellent, and really brings the best of both worlds to the control scheme. There are 3 pyramids to clear here, each containing a mid-boss, a main boss, and numerous baddies leading up to these encounters. Upon starting the game, players have one loadout, but are able to pick up weapons that can appear in the procedurally generated levels. The pyramids are basically floor-based mazes, which require you to keep diving deeper to eventually reach a set of stairs that will bring you closer to the top of the pyramid. Once you enter a room, you're put up against a handful of enemies. Other room types appear as well, for example, challenging the player to survive various hazards to reach a treasure chest, or sometimes even just a danger-free treasure room. The fast movement also feeds into the gameplay. As I mentioned above, you typically will be stuck in a room until you can kill all of the baddies. To avoid damage from projectile-shooting enemies, club-wielding foes, or smaller enemies like jumping frogs, you will need to constantly be on the move. Bosses will still put you in frantic situations, but they are a bit more puzzle-based and kind of require players to figure out what to do in order to inflict some damage. Don't let the name of the game fool you. Death is a huge part of Immortal Redneck. However, you're able to retain any gold that you collect from enemies or treasure chests. This gold can be used to upgrade your character on, quite literally, a skill tree. Players can increase health, defense, unlock additional character classes, which offer different starting loadouts and statistics, and a whole lot more. These roguelite elements give skilled and unskilled players a chance to have more of an advantage the more they play the game. With the difficulty of this game, you'll definitely need all the breaks you can get. While players are trekking through the pyramids, they'll sometimes obtain scrolls that can either help or hinder them. These can be things like infinite ammo, an increase in overall health, or even crazy things like a curse that forces the player to be constantly moving. The scrolls appear in random enemy drops alongside gold, ammo, or weapons, and present a huge risk-reward type of scenario that players will have to decide on in the heat of the moment. The visuals are a bit low-key, however this is made up for with the excellent frame rate. Immortal Redneck runs at a consistent 60 frames per second and never shows any hiccups during the gameplay. Enemy design and animation are fun and believable, and the environments look great. The sound in Immortal Redneck is also well done. From funny one-liners from the redneck himself to gun and enemy sound effects, the developers have crafted a nice experience for players. Despite Immortal Redneck's somewhat mediocre graphics, the frame rate runs super smooth, the controls are excellent, and the roguelike elements are fair. The arcadiness and super high speed of the gameplay take some getting used to, but they are excellent, and really set the game apart from other shooters on Switch. The high level of difficulty is sure to scare some away, but for those looking for a challenge, this quick-paced shooter is a game that you shouldn't miss out on. Final score for Immortal Redneck on Nintendo Switch, 7.5. Keep it locked here to the Famicast on YouTube, and be sure to check out thefamicast.com for more video reviews, news, podcasts, and a whole lot more. Thank you for watching.